This weekend, All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling collab for the third consecutive year, bringing you Forbidden Door 3. You know the Flex Zone podcast. We're going to be live for it. We're going to be reacting to it, and we're going to watch it along with you on Sunday night as AEW goes back to the UBS Arena on Long Island in their main event. For the first time as AEW World Champion, main eventing a pay-per-view, Swerve Strickland takes on Will Ospreay. Make sure you super kick that subscribe button, like above that like button, backdrop that bell. Drop your predictions in the comment section, sound off, let me know your thoughts, what you're looking forward to seeing, and what the hell is going on with AEW, as it seems like they just can't get right. And I'm blaming Tony Khan, I'm blaming his creative vision over the last few years, the departures of Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes, the departures of CM Punk, the departures of a lot of day one guys and girls who helped make AEW the alternative, which it is today. It's no longer the alternative. It is basically turning into WWE run under Vince McMahon. And what I mean by that is great talent, great professional wrestlers, great in-ring competition, great in-ring matches. You can pick two names out of a hat, which Tony Khan does do most weeks, as a lot of these matches don't have any rhyme or reason or any story. But he's lost the faith of the fan base because, like those days in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, even under Vince McMahon, the storytelling, there was no character development, no investment in storylines, no week-to-week story progression that made you tune in and have the interest to want to watch the next week to see what's going to happen, leading into a pay-per-view, leading into a long-term story, a long-term booked situation. And you've lost the faith of the fan base, and the ratings are reflecting that. Obviously, on Collision, that's been around for a year after Punk left. That show has been god-awful. No one watches it on Saturday night. The slot is terrible. The show is pretty much a lot of open challenges, a lot of Ring of Honor, a lot of things that don't make sense. Rampage, terrible time slot. Pretty much a developmental. They should have just given that to Ring of Honor. And with Dynamite, as I mentioned, it doesn't need a Sheldon from a Big Bang Theory. It doesn't need a Black Panther. It doesn't need Major League Baseball. It doesn't need NBA playoffs. They're ice cold. They're heading into their biggest show of the year, all in London. They're not going to do 80,000 plus like they did last year, but it's going to be a big crowd. The international fans love live events. They don't get as many as usual. They've gotten a lot recently over the past few years with the All-Ins and now WWE pretty much going international for their B-level pay-per-views. But you've lost the faith of the fan base. Last week actually was a pretty decent Dynamite. It wasn't the best. It wasn't great. It wasn't as good as some people made it out to be, in my opinion. It was all right. It was something that he can roll out of bed and, in my opinion, make a decent show like that. But look at how WWE on both Raw and now SmackDown has investing storylines that you get invested in, characters that you want to see, characters that you want to believe in, characters whose story and progression that you want to see week to week leading into big matches at the pay-per-view, backstage segments, every segment having a meaning and having a story, from the main event to the undercard, to even some of the people who are quote-unquote jobbers. There are stories throughout their television programs. And like I said, AEW could put on 10 straight spectacular weekly Dynamites. But it doesn't matter because we don't have faith that Tony Khan long-term is going to sustain this. We know he's Mr. Pay-Per-View. We know he puts on great matches. But this takes me to my point here with Swerve in his title reign. The first time we've seen Swerve after winning the championship, he's doing a goddamn open challenge to Kyle Fletcher, who hasn't won a damn thing. And I love Swerve. I love who he is. I love what he's become. Swerve's house, the Flex Zone's house. But this is his first main event. I mean, he came out on Collision, and the only reason they put him on Collision that same week was people were complaining because he didn't get a celebration like a Mercedes Moné, like a Willow Nightingale, like these people who have won championships and gotten balloons and streamers and big time moments. A lot of people are saying the Swerve Strickland Will Ospreay match is too soon. This could have been done at All In. I think this is a win that Swerve has to win. I do like the fact that it is a little unpredictable. When the match happened, I thought it was okay. There, Tony rushing and blowing his load a little too soon. But the story, it seems like, is heading towards Will Ospreay being screwed by the Don Callis family. What does that mean for Will Ospreay heading into All In? I personally, if I had the pen, I would book a Cody Rhodes-like story where Will Ospreay gets a world championship match at All In. That will be his first world championship match opportunity. He loses to maybe a Swerve. Then it tells a year-long story of him redeeming himself and getting back to All In next year and winning the world title from whoever may be holding it. That would be a great story to tell long term. That would be a great culminating moment. That would make the chase and the capture that much more exciting for Will Ospreay. There's nothing like a Will Ospreay match. If he's arguably, because people are going to argue about it, he's the best wrestler in the world. He's put together a great body of work, but most of his matches in AEW, outside of the Danielson match and outside of the Takeshita match, really have not meant a damn thing. And I'm going to throw this match in there. So out of 20 plus matches that he's had in AEW, only 3 of them, including this one, mean something. Now, I do think Swerve wins here. Like I said, I think Swerve wins, but it may be a little bit of a tainted victory because the Don Callis family may screw Will Ospreay. We've seen him recruiting Roosh. He's got Trent Beretta. He's got Takeshita. He's got Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay's former teammate. So does this lead to the defection of babyface turn of Kyle Fletcher realigning with Will Ospreay? I don't know. But Swerve has to be treated more importantly. Over the last few weeks, they've tried to give him some good promos, some good face-to-faces with Will Ospreay, telling that story heading into Forbidden Door. The match is going to cook. The match is going to be cinema. The match is going to be great. It'll probably be one of the best 5 or 10 matches you'll see all year. Both of them can do pretty much everything in the ring. They can be technically savvy. They can give you the, oh, wow, holy-ish high-fly moments. They can do the hard-hitting brawling. They can play to the crowd. They can play both babyface and heel very, very well. But they got to treat Swerve with a priority. I don't know if Swerve walks out of All In with the World Championship. Now, it looks like the Joker and the Owen Hart, as a winner of the Owen Hart, gets a World Championship opportunity this year. Looks like the Joker is going to be the favorite to win it. Is the Joker Adam Hangman Page? Do we get another match with him and Swerve heading into All In? Maybe they join forces at Blood and Guts, and then All In, they face off one more time. I don't know if I want that, but it is a long-term story. Is it going to be MJF? He's facing Hechishero. Is it going to be, I don't know, someone else maybe as the Joker that wins the tournament and faces Swerve? Now, I don't know what this means for Will Ospreay heading into Wembley, with Will Ospreay now recruiting Ricochet. Ricochet apparently done with WWE. I can see Ricochet showing up at All In, maybe an international championship open challenge. Will Ospreay, Ricochet, they blow through the match on Ricochet's first night. Now, the question is, though, you're going to have Ricochet lose his first match? Yeah. I think you can maybe even wait and do that match next year for the world title, Will Ospreay and Ricochet. But I think Swerve has to win here. I think Swerve needs to win. He needs a marquee win on his ledger as world champion. He's main eventing his first pay-per-view. He's hitting into Blood and Guts. I think Swerve does win here, but it will be a little tainted because it will lead with something to do with Don Callis' family costing Will Ospreay and the whole Tiger Driver situation. Now, I am intrigued because they did tease Will Ospreay and MJF. I don't know if we're getting that at All In. And then Swerve and maybe Hangman is one of your other marquee matches. But we'll see. I'll let it play out. I think this match is going to be fantastic. Shout out to the fans in Long Island. Everybody coming to see Forbidden Door. It looks like it's going to be 10,000 people there. Pretty much almost a sellout. So congratulations for AEW for at least still being able to sell out in certain markets. I'm not going to issue on it completely. But I think Forbidden Door this year has been done a little bit better. There have been some story. It's not just an all-star game where you're putting random matches of AEW and New Japan together because AEW is taking all New Japan's talent. But with that being said, this is a good main event. Yeah, it may be a little too soon, but this lets me know they're going to give Swerve the victory here, and we could see them have a rematch down the line. And I'm intrigued what they do with Ospreay heading into All In. If it's not for the world title, do they do the open challenge, give him Ricochet? Do they do Ospreay and MJF? Do they do Swerve and Hangman? Sign up in the comments. Let me know down below what you guys are thinking about that as well. But I just wanted to come on here, give you guys a preview, give you guys my opinion on this match, Swerve's title reign so far, and kind of where they could be going with this moving forward as we're heading into All In. And unfortunately, they are a little ice cold. They don't have anything that's really gripping me in. I think their best story, and I'll talk about this when I get to the Tony Storm, Mariah May, Mina Shirakawa, hashtag we want Mina trending worldwide. That's their best story right now. But I love Swerve. I love Ospreay. It should be a banger match. AEW has no problem in that department. Give us a story. Give us long-term booking. Give us long-term vision. Give us long-term creative. Give us character development. Let things breathe. Stop with the open challenges. Stop with the eliminator matches. Get rid of the rankings. Let's get a hard brand split between Dynamite and Collision. Those are just some of my thoughts. But Swerve, I think, retains his title here against Will Ospreay. And we'll see where they take it from there. I'm going to let it play out. I want to see how things go with Forbidden Door. Hitting into Blood and Guts. And hitting into All In and All Out. And then I'll really be able to assess if this company is truly on life support, potentially. And do I even care anymore? But subscribe down below. Super hit that subscribe button. Like above that like button. Backdrop that bell. And join us for the AEW New Japan Forbidden Door live stream. 3rd year. I don't know how much life this concept has left. But it's always fun. It's like an all-star game. The shows are usually one of the better ones of the year. But we'll see. I'm going with Swerve to beat Osprey. Sign off in the comments. Super kick it. Like above that like button. Backdrop that bell. And make sure you check out all the other videos and previews on the channel. It's the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you that wrestling coverage how you want it, when you need it. I'll see you for Forbidden Door on Sunday. And let me know what you think about the predictions for the other matches.